Dougie, let me know when you're ready to hit record. Oh, perfect. We hear the recording in progress. Thank you guys. So excited. Thank you for joining me. It's a wonderful Friday, and I have a very wonderful guest for you this Friday. So, without further ado, you guys might recognize him from other morning mindset sessions because this guy is always here contributing to our community. And we welcome Mr. Drake Cruz, ALC member, top producer. Welcome to the call. I love
Hello.
I love your money thing. You need one of those money guns, like
And
over
this
there.
has to be a serious session because we can't laugh because since we're both recovering, we don't want coughing fits.
I know it's going to be really hard not to laugh. So
Okay.
again, apologies to everyone if Drake and I start coughing. We've had the crud for quite some time now. Much better, but coughs are getting better. Anyways, you guys, Drake, why don't you start the call? If people don't know who you are, tell us what is your relationship with real estate? Tell us a little bit more. Who are you? What's your relationship with real estate?
Okay. Damn it. It's being recorded, so I can't start the way I normally would start. Um, okay. So I'm Drake, and I live in South Orange County, and I really fell into real estate. I don't want to say by accident, but definitely wasn't planned. Uh,
Mm,
I was a behavior therapist for children with autism for many, many, many years during the week. And then on the weekends, I worked at this little coffee shop in Long Beach. It was very, very popular, 60 to 90-minute wait times every weekend. And I just knew a lot of people. And I knew a lot of realtors in town. And I'd watch them come in random times of the day, do buyer consultations. This was pre-BRBC. This actually was pre-internet. And one of them said, you should think about real estate. And I went, why? He goes, well, I've seen you for years and you have this natural gift of the gab. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I do like clicking houses. I love open houses. So I thought about it. And like within the next day or so, I saw in the newspaper, and for those of you that were born in the 2000s, we used to have these things called newspapers. And I'd read the newspaper and I saw a little thing in there that said real estate school, $99. I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's a sign. So I signed
mm,
up and I'll never forget this. So I signed up the very next day. The headline across the front page read Long Beach housing boom. So I
mm.
just took that as a sign, like you made the right choice. That was 26 years ago, and I've seen some things in 26 years. Yeah.
I think you gained so much experience going through 26 years of being in the industry from start, like you said, pre-internet days,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
Now till today. So like flash forward, what does real estate look like today for you?
Oof. Today is today is exciting again. I have to admit, this industry is tough. If you don't if you're not ready for it, it's going to eat you up and spit you out. So it's been
Mm,
tough. And there's been a handful of years I'm like, I need to get out of this. I'm glad that I didn't because the fire underneath me now is kind of crazy. There's this one leader in our office. I'm not going to tell you who she is, but her initials are Halley Hardy, and she made me take this test, and I'll never forget reading the results of that test when it said that I should not be a solo agent. I'm like, okay, so I've just been doing it wrong for 25 years. Okay. But it really made me pause and think like, okay, well, I try to be a leader in the office. I try to always come from contribution and help others. And so last year I started a team and it was a little bit scary, but man, it's just been magic since you helped me take that step to to access more of what I should be doing.
Just in case you guys aren't aware of what Drake's talking about, it's not some magical quiz test that I came up with in my brain. He's talking about the KPA. And Drake, I think it was such a first off, thank you for being transparent about like that journey of what it looks like. I know when you and I sat down to do the KPA, which is the Keller Personality Assessment, I know that it can be a really self-discovery revealing thing to read your KPA and actually have it validated. And I think that's really important too, right? To have that conversation with someone who is certified through the career visioning process to have that conversation with you. But here, Drake was, 26 plus years in the business or whatever you just had shared. And, you were doing great. You were having a great business. And yet the KPA popped out and said, hey, you might thrive and find it more natural in a team environment. That was a lot. Like, what did you feel when you and I were having that conversation? Like, walk us through where your head was at and kind of what you were thinking from that convo. When you and I sat down, like where was that for you?
Yeah, it was confusion. It was skepticism for sure, because I never wanted to be responsible for other people. Meaning,
Mm,
if you're on my team, I don't want to be responsible for whether or not you eat. And that was just way too much pressure. And I was not willing, I was not interested in being responsible for other people.
mm.
Um, and it was, so I guess that was fear. I'm like, well, if I have other people underneath me, I might have to be more accountable. So there's that. But God, it's working out. It's working out. The first 6 months could not have been scripted any better.
You had such a commitment to self-discovery there. And I think that's the piece that I really want to point out was that you said, hey, I want to learn more about myself. Let's take the KPA. And I said, I'd love to go through that journey with you. We sat down and you had a true commitment to saying, I want to learn how to be the best version of myself. I want to learn what my strengths are. I want to learn what my opportunities are so I can be a better agent, a better person, etc. And you really came to it with a very open mind and getting results that might have challenged what you thought maybe you had perceived, you still sat and thought and went back and said, hey, I'm going to reflect on myself and see where I can grow from here. Being on a team or starting your own team or leading your own team is not for everybody, right? Like, let's be really clear about that. And when it's something that you naturally gravitate towards, if you are feeling extremely alone and you need that group thing, if there's so many different ways that we can discover if that's going to be a good match for us, right, Drake?
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
didn't want to I didn't want to be embarrassed by failure, because that's a driving force for
Yeah.
me. I didn't want to be embarrassed.
You've seen a lot in your 20 plus years of real estate, right? Now
Yes.
you have a team with your wonderful teammate Nadia, and congrats to the both of you guys on your successes. What are you seeing right now in the real estate market in general? Like what are you seeing in your area? What conversations are you having with your clients right now?
Hmm. Well, had a great conversation yesterday. We closed on our listing yesterday, and there were lots of tears.
Mm,
And the reason that I cherish that is because I know that what we do is important. And if you do it right, it's not necessarily work. It's an absolute honor and a privilege, that you were chosen. And I'm a softie, and so like I said, all four of us were wearing tears, and and we had just met these people, 3 months ago. So to me just told me that what I'm doing is right. This is not transactional. This is a this is a relationship. Yes, it's a
Mm,
professional relationship, but when you're a genuine person and you're doing this for the right reason, you can't help but break down some of the professional boundaries and you actually get into their lives. And in this particular instance, the husband is a big bonsai guy, huge plant guy. And we walked out of the first consultation. Nadia walked out with a bonsai. And, so I took, of course, you turn that into a social media reel like, Nadia, why are you stealing plants from our clients? And then we went back for the follow-up and we both walked out with plants. So it was pretty funny. But fast forward, we wound up going to, I loved it so much. I went to a bonsai, we went to a bonsai class. I now have like 6 plants waiting to be cut. Just recently bought us stainless steel cutting tools for bonsai. So it's nice that clients, when you actually treat them like humans, which they are,
mm, yeah.
it goes far beyond real estate. And to me, that translates into my goal has always been, I'm trying to build an army of advocates. Well, these guys have already handed out our business cards to plenty of people. So it's that to me is the sauce. That's
You hit the nail on the head with the relationship building there, Drake. And I think that that's something that both you and Nadia are exceptional at. Um, when you say we were in tears or almost in tears with the joy of
oh, we were in
helping
tears.
client. Yeah, tears almost, one of
Yes,
those
yeah,
two things.
yeah,
But when you do that, it's because you care about them getting the things that they want. And I
yes.
think it's that servant mindset that we have to have, that heart of service that truly connects people. Would you agree?
1,000%. And I always tell people there is a lid for every pot. Am I going to be a match with everybody? No.
Yeah.
Am I going to get that close with every client? No. But those are the ones that I absolutely just relish. Those are the ones that I'm looking for.
How do you, obviously, you build these amazing relationships. You're together for, let's say, 3, 6 months or whatever that looks like by the time you help them through transaction. Then it's done. The tears are over. The hug has happened. How do you keep in relationship with these people? Like, how do you, stay connected with them and keep that strong relationship until you transact next or until whatever that looks like?
So I should pull up a calendar because I'm teaching that class coming up in a few weeks. But I could spend 3 hours on how you continue to nurture your clients, and most of it is not about real estate. Most of it is just staying in touch. Yeah, it's easy if
Mm,
if you're just genuine and you give for the sake of giving. Again, my favorite bold, come from contribution. If you just come from contribution, it's just natural. It's not pushy. It's not stuffy. You don't have
mm,
to be so confined to how you stay in touch with these people. I remind them numerous times while we're in the transaction and afterwards. I said, yes, the transaction part of our relationship is done for now, but by no means are we done. And I want to remind you again, when something breaks in the house, I should be your first call. And then I share examples of past clients that forgot that we were still in that relationship and how much money it cost them out of their pocket because
mm,
they've forgotten about their home warranty. Had they called me like I told them to, it would have cost them $75 or probably free. but instead it cost them $1,500. So those are
Mhm.
expensive mistakes. So we are not done. One thing that I started doing a few years back. So here's a nugget for you, is when I have a listing and it sells, most of the time that buyer wasn't mine. If that buyer wasn't mine, they get added to my database and I follow up with them because, as you know, in our industry, what is the biggest flaw that honestly most of us have? I don't have it, but most of us is the follow-up.
Mhm.
Why, and they think, okay, it's transactional. It's not transactional. So I'm adamant about that.
That is a great strategy, and you had so many things in there. A couple of things I just want to point out that I heard was that you're going beyond just the real estate transaction relationship when it comes to value, right? Like using language of when you get into your home and something breaks that's major, call me first, right? Or reach out to me first. I have
Yep.
connections, or I can help connect you to your home warranty people. That using language helps coach our clients too, and people, because we need to, do that in our industry of looking something so much further than just you helped me buy the house. Now
Right.
you have value beyond that transaction.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And you've mentioned before things like we talked about in the last team meeting, some touches and things like that you'll have with people, like showing up to their events or sharing things. Anything in particular you want to like point out or share that you do to stay in touch?
My favorite little tool, believe it or not, is an app called TouchNote, to where when I don't doom scroll. I actually go onto social media with a purpose, and the purpose is I'm hunting for opportunities to return the love back to them. So with clients and friends, I will scroll, and if I see something that is meaningful, and I'm assuming that it's meaningful because they took the time to post it, I will turn that into a postcard. And through the app, you can uh, put their mailing address on there. If you know where the picture is taken, there's a little map function on there. You can put yourself as the stamp, so that's kind of identifies like, oh, why is Drake's face on the stamp? And then a little note. And it has a little Canva feature, so you can put stickers, on the picture, whatever. But the reason that I like that is because the shelf life of something like that is a very long time. I mean, we're talking
Mm,
in some cases it could be years. The funny story that I'll share is I had some clients that bought this beautiful home in Trabuco Canyon, and it was obviously August or September because that's when everybody is posting their first day of school pictures, right? So I took a picture. Well, I borrowed the pictures from the two boys and I put them side by side and made this great postcard of first day of school. And then the heading is just the what I write is usually something like some moments just need to be cherished a little bit longer. Just something like that. And I sent it. And then after I sent it, I realized, oh my God, I was in a hurry and I didn't sign it. I didn't put my name on the thing. So now this lady
mm.
is going to get a postcard in the mail of her two kids from nobody. Stalker. So I said, oh my God, well, I'm going to turn this into a funny moment. So I called her. I said, hey, how's it going? She goes, oh my God, nice to hear from you. And I said, I have a funny story for you. And so I told her that she's going to be getting a postcard in the mail, but I forgot to put my name on it. But I didn't want you to think that some internet stalker was stalking your kids because I forgot to put my name on it. But it gets a great response. And like I said, the shelf life is great, but it also, I know for a fact, it actually promotes conversation when friends come over. Oh, what a cute picture. So
Hmm. It's
touch note.
because it's about them, right? It's about them. It's about them. And that all goes back to that servant and leadership and that servant mindset that you have because it's so key to build that relationship. They're going to keep a picture of their children that you sent them on a postcard rather than some. Oh yeah, the
Touch
app
note,
Touch
Ray.
Note. Yeah, people were asking what it was. It's called Touch Note. I've used it too as well. It is a great app. There is a very small nominal fee per things that you. It's very affordable. But again, a really thoughtful and purposeful way to do that. I've seen other agents do this commonly when loved ones are passed or something, and they send a wonderful picture of something they put on Facebook of them. Again, it's about them. It's about them, not about us.
Yeah. Because so many times we send them things and they read it and then it gets tossed immediately
Yeah.
and then not you're not in their mindset anymore.
Hmm.
So I am pretty good at doing things, like the vodka. People love the vodka. So
Drake makes a special vodka during the holidays, you guys. It's a habanero vodka, and he has a label that he puts on it, Drake for Homes, and he drops it off to everyone. And it's so special because it's something that he made, right? It's not even just something that you went out and did. So you get to tell that story of like how it was created.
actually, actually, I have to correct you. You misspoke. Um,
Okay.
it, it's not just during the holidays. I do it year round. So I always have a batch going. Like for instance, I've given out some for Valentine's Day because
That's awesome.
and you can always find some sort of slogan to put on there. And even if you
Yeah.
don't, it's real estate is hot, but so are the contents. Drink cautiously. So there's always something. Yeah, but I do it year round.
You have a myriad of ideas all the time and just transitioning into that piece now that you've been doing this for 20 plus years, you're now getting more into coaching and helping. What are some of the things from that perspective, Drake? What are some of the things that you think might be holding people back from success right now?
Um, Probably just, well, one thing that I've heard is that people say, well, I don't know enough. And they don't think that they know enough to just to get out there and jump in. And I'm telling you right now, you don't need to know it all. You will never know it all. I don't think there's anybody, any veteran on this call. Well, maybe Maureen, because she's very smart. But most people do not profess to knowing it all. I don't know it all. But the one strength I have is that I'm really, really good at saying, you know what? That is a really good question. I remember talking about that in a meeting. There's been some updates. Let me get back to you. If you can just volley that question into a follow-up conversation, you're golden. I don't know about you, but the people that come off that have a polished answer for everything, I don't know. Again, there's a lid for every pot. I am not polished in any means, but that's okay because I know my tribe and I know that people for the most part want to work with us. And
Hmm.
now that I'm with Nadia, there's been a few mentees that have been close by that see what we do at the open houses. People want to work with us, and it's golden. Because girl, I turned 60 last year. I am too tired to chase. I can't chase anymore. So I need to cover myself with some honey, and I need to attract those bees.
You just when you're starting out or even when you're just maybe just not seeing that production that you need. And someone asks you that question, like, oh, hey, tell me about blank, or can I do blank? And I think that the reaction is always just, oh, let me give them some answer, right? Like, let me just answer it for them, or I think I heard about this. And it's so much better as a value proposition to just know that, I tell people this all the time. I'm not going to have all the answers, but the ones that I do tell you, I'm going to make certain that they are right. Right? Like, I'm going to make certain that they're right because it's just having that standard is so important in your life and your business, right?
If you can let them know that you are their resource for all things real estate, you got to pound that in. Um, that's my tagline.
Yeah.
I want to be your resource for all things real estate. So,
It's so much bigger than transactional. So that's good. What else do you have for us? What else did you want to share? What else are you seeing? What are you seeing in the market right now? What's some motivation to share with the group?
one missed opportunity. And when Nadia goes back and she watches this, she's going to laugh because I've called her out on it. Um, and a few other people too, is I no longer will allow someone to work at my open house if they don't have a name tag. And if I don't want a name tag, I'm like, you are missing out on opportunities. And so let me give you an example. I wore my name tag purposely to Costco, and it's telling people, ask me a question. It's free advertising. And I have gotten a transaction from standing in the line at Costco. So I tell people, just, if you're dressed nicely, just throw your name tag on. It's
Mhm.
telling people, talk to me. And they will.
Mhm.
I promise you they will.
I see the name tags. I see the ask me about real estate stuff work. I even just Keller Williams swag, you guys. Keller Williams is such a massive company. People know that it's a real estate company. And those things, putting it out there in the universe. You stop by the gas station, you might encounter somebody. You go to the grocery store in the line and you might encounter somebody. It's been time and time again, we've sat on here with producers that have told us the same thing, that they just attract when they're putting it out there.
I was wearing my KW military shirt last week. I sat in a coffee shop, and the lady next to me would not leave me alone in the best way. But like, I'm not getting any work done, but I made contact because, oh, you at Calories? I'm like, yes. So just, just, just let people know. It was nothing is better when they come to you versus you going to them. It's you got them already because your hook is your name tag. Your hook is your shirt. Just just do it. Have conversations. I mean, conversations don't need to be scary, and they're not.
Mhm. Jeremy said in the chat, he said, every realtor should wear their name tags to meetings, to their open houses, to all of it, right? Like even knowing other fellow realtors.
Yeah, it's important. And like with the open house thing is how's anybody identifying that you're the person that they can talk to in the open house? So I
Mm,
I finally put my foot down and said, no. Said, I know that there's value in you being here, so you're going to put that on or you're out.
I love that. Good standard to have. You
Yes.
guys, I could sit here and talk to Drake for probably a couple more hours, and there might be some more laughs and maybe some more coughs, but we get through it. But Drake, thank you so much. You mentioned some upcoming classes or trainings. Anything you want to plug or talk about right now to help get the group excited?
I don't have the date. I think it's in 2 weeks, so not next week, but the following week. It's nurturing your database on Popeyes.
Hmm,
And I'm going to be doing that one from Tampa because by that time I'll be on the other side of the country, but I still plan on doing it. So I'll be doing it from Deb's house. But
awesome.
I'm just gonna make the list of everything that I do. So yeah, reach out to Doug in our office and he can get you because I think it's actually through my private Zoom link
Mm,
for the mentees. So
cool.
so we can share that with you if you want to join in on that one.
Great. Thank you, Drake, so much for your time and your leadership and for giving back to our community. If you guys have questions about anything that Drake and I talked about today, how to level up your business or, pop buys or relationship building or KPA, if you guys want to go through that process and learn more about yourself and commitment to self-mastery, just reach out to Drake or I. We're here to help support you guys. Through our community is how we rise. I think that's really important. So, go out, you guys. Have a great, wonderful Friday. Do
I
some
love
open
all
houses.
of you.
We love all of you guys. Do some open houses. Make some extra calls. Make an extra client connection. This is the week that could absolutely change your life. Okay. Have a good rest of your day, guys.
Thanks,
Love you,
everybody.
Drake. Love you, Hallie. Bye.
Love you both.
Thank you both.
Oh,
This was
so
lovely.
good. Love
Thank
you
you.
too. Love you
Happy
guys.
Awesome love.
Valentine's.
Happy
Full of
Friday. We
love.
love you, Drake.
Sending you lots of love, guys.
Thank you so much.
Oh, so much love. There we go.